Okay, I'm here with Scott Houck from XMPie. Do more with XMPie, which is what I want to talk about. But let's first start at the baseline. To me, XMPie is the only first name and only name in variable data management, or however you want to call it. All the printers that I speak to, they use XMPie, but more importantly, they know that XMPie exists. Okay. What I've been learning lately, though, however, hanging out with you more, is that they might know that it is where they want to look for help with their variable data and their data management, but they don't realize that you actually have extended services in the platform. But let's start at the beginning. Tell everybody about how you help print shops grow their business for the future, and then let's get into those secret gems that you're not using out there or don't know about.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Deborah. So what we're doing, and we're here at Dscoop, what we're doing is allowing this amazing equipment that these print providers are spending a lot of investment into and can do all this amazing things. We're able to take that data that you mentioned, drive it through Adobe InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator to be able to create the files needed to run optimally on those presses so they can provide personalized direct mail, labels, packaging to their clients and make them more valuable.
Now you said optimally, so put a little more meat behind optimally, because there's a lot of talk about workflow, automation, blah, blah, blah. Like, gets very specific with the people.
All right, let's get specific. So first of all, when we use InDesign to allow you to do variable data, we need to optimize the files coming out of the back end. And what does optimize mean? Well, if you just made fat PDFs for those technical on the pre-press side, like I've been, if you're just making fat PDFs and send it over to the DFE in front of the device, it's not going to like you. It's going to go slow. It's not going to process efficiently. So optimizing to us means we make optimized files on the back end, so PDF VT specifically, and that allows the files to be much smaller and to process better. So if you're doing a variable data piece and it has multiple images that might swap out, we're only referring and putting those images in the file one time as needed. And then our optimized file format like PDF VT combined with the DFVs and the RIPs are able to then process that more efficiently.
Now, is it a universal system, or are you optimizing for each manufacturer? I mean, we are at Dscoop, which means there's a lot of HP users here, but we certainly see you at events around the world, at other places too.
Right, and to build on that, Deborah, we are here in 2024. In 2010 or 2000, it was more proprietary, like you said. Every solution provider would have to do a specific output for whether it was HP or Xerox or whomever. Now the industry standard format is PDF VT. We are experts in that. We're on standards committees for that. And that is allowing us to provide the appropriate files for any of these manufacturers because they're using DFVs that have like an Adobe engine in it that can, bring these files in. So it's open.
Yeah. And
agnostic.
I was going to ask you about your relationship with Adobe, because you must have one. Right. Because if you guys aren't working together, there's going to be chaos on the print shop.
Right. So there are multiple ways we work with Adobe. So one of the things that we have talked about is we have plugins to InDesign. I mentioned that. So that's one way we work with Adobe. But for a lot of people, even watching this, you may say, okay, plug in InDesign on your desktop. Well, we have thousands of clients that are just doing that on their desktop and creating output for these devices. However, the other part of our relationship with Adobe is we also leverage Adobe InDesign Server. So our clients that are doing heavy high-end volumes, our solution has Adobe InDesign Server inside of it. We're Adobe's most successful provider of InDesign Server. So that allows this to all scale at the highest volumes needed.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's why I said you're the name everybody knows. I mean, they at least know to look at you as part of their journey if they're looking for this solution.
Thank you. Yeah.
But as I mentioned before, there's more.
Yes.
There is an unknown, at least it was to me, till the last podcast I did with you guys, that you have an entire digital marketing component to the software. Now, what I mean by digital marketing is not just the fact that your software can help create a digital bridge. And what I mean by that is a QR scan to a data source. Well, I'm going to call it a data source because if you're a printer or a brand, that's what you want. Okay, great, you scan my QR code, but I need to know things about it. Where were you? What time it was? Did you make a purchase? Whatever you might want to look, opt into my social media, whatever that might be. But this is not that. Can you explain what or you are now defining as digital marketing through XMPie? And I want everyone to pay attention to this because I think it's a hidden gem and I don't believe your customers are using it fully to the capabilities.
And you brought up a really great word that I'm going to key off of is their perception that we're just creating a bridge. So let's say we do the variable data print like we were talking about. Let's say it's a direct mail piece. We're not just putting a QR code or something to get a bridge into digital. That's what everybody else says. It's a bridge and then you do something else. With XMPie and our platform, it's good that we talked about the variable data for print first because that's kind of foundational. But the same way we just talked about doing PDF VT to go out to these devices, we also—
Just tell them what VT means.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So PDF VT, variable transactional is the naming. And it's the standard for doing modern variable data these days. It used to be that all these manufacturers had their own proprietary formats for their devices. Now PDF VT is a standard. There's a standards board. Cal Poly hosts the whole standards. They actually use files generated from XMPie. Adobe is heavily involved in that as well and on the standards of PDF VT.
I just want to say, I remember when that first came out and Adobe reached out to talk about it. It was really for the transactional printers because think about all of the personalization. You cannot mess up my Blue Cross Blue Shield bill and yours.
Right.
There's a big problem with that, or bank statements, or anything having to do with secure print. So I'm sorry I digress, but I just wanted to make sure that we are all on the same page so we can move forward together. Please.
All right, so back to the bridge and back to digital. So now that we have the PDF VT or just say print, we're going out to the print devices and you want to bring that person that you're communicating to, let's say it's a marketing message, a postcard or direct mail piece, the XMPie platform doesn't stop there. We also support composition for email, so hyper-personalized email, personalized text messaging, dynamic websites or landing pages or pearls, people call it.
Oh, I didn't even know that you did that, the landing pages.
Yes,
okay.
And personalized video. So, and guess what? For those who are keeping track, we use Adobe After Effects for video. That's what Hollywood, that's what everybody uses. Everything that creatives and marketers do, we plug that in so they can make it hyper-personalized and versioned.
Okay, I just want to point out that none of that is on your banner behind us.
I know, it just says do more. So,
okay, well, do more. Well, I'm trying to help you explain to the people what the more part is.
And we did, that was great.
Yeah,
I appreciate
because,
that.
Look, like I said, people trust your platform for variable data printing and they know everything else. But there is so much more that XMPie can help you to do more. Literally, their tagline. Give them a look. But before we go away, I want to talk about why you're supporting the Dscoop community and some of the, let's say, the higher level conversations you've been having with attendees here.
Yes, great question. So, when it comes to our industry, and we just talked about doing highest levels of marketing, creativity, high end. So for us, obviously that means personalization. But the reason that we have such a tight relation with Adobe is because we want creatives and marketers that have the highest levels of capability. So when they have that at the creation stage, well, they want to make sure they have that on the high-end output stage or the printing stages. So then you have companies like HP who has this great community of users in Dscoop where we can collaborate and talk more about that and how they can take that to the next level. Now, we've had Indigos for a long time, but now we have page wide, so we have like larger sizes and so on, and we need to crank out that volume, so they need software like us. So when you take some of these companies that are here, they have the best of the best. So they'll have XMPie, of course, and they'll have some of these devices, whatever is appropriate. And a lot of times they're asking us, hey, we're already using solution X. Can XMPie take us to that next level? So we like to be involved in those conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how everybody else functions, but to me, I don't want to get my peach from one place, my meat from another place, my milk from another place. So look at XMPie because they have a whole bunch of things you could at least start with and then build upon. And there are plenty of other vendors who offer like what you offer as standalone things.
Yeah, siloed pieces and parts. Yeah.
But there are not that many that offer all that you offer, and there's probably more that they even do that you don't know about. So do more with XMPie. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate it. Thank you.